PR Connections Radio presents. This episode of the PR Connections podcast is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. They can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.
Hey, g'day to my lovely listeners. I have a super lady today to interview, and you're going to love her. Her name is Hitt Kaplan. That's a mouthful. That's just like mine, isn't it? A lot. So, g'day, Kate. Thank you for coming on today.
I only came on to listen to your voice. I love this voice. G'day. How are you?
I'm great.
Thanks for sharing with me.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we had a few hitches today getting on, but you know, I'm not the best technical person in the world, but we get it done because we've got great people behind us. All right, Kate. Now, the first thing I want to know about you, please, is, I mean, you've got such an extraordinary past and future. Give me in a nutshell how you got here today.
Oh, wow. Anyone knows me well enough to know I don't do anything in a nutshell. A lot of words. I'm a lifelong Las Vegan. And so anyone who was raised in Las Vegas, my mom moved here when I was a few months old, but anyone who was raised in Las Vegas in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, there's just too much to tell, and most of them can't be told. How I got to what I'm doing today is through life experiences. Today, I am the most fulfilled, the most comfortable in my skin, the most power-driven to the people kind of person. And I just love being where I am in my skin. I pray that for everyone right now. So how I got here, very quickly, 22 years retired from Metro. I was on talk radio, Kate On, for about 8 years. A woman paid to talk, very interesting. And that was back in the day when women were not necessarily listened to as much as they are now. And then today I teach therapeutic art to people in drug and alcohol recovery, because recovery is possible, and it's possible for everyone, and I want to be a part of that for them.
Yeah, that I know a few people who do art therapy for different reasons with their clients, and it's fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I even did. I went to one of those ones where you know the lady gets up in the front and does a drawing or painting, and then you copy her. I did that for last year for one of the people that was going for a government position. And it was so much fun that I got my girlfriend and we went back and did it again. And then we went and did it again. And that was just because.
Did I see you at the winery?
Probably. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my.
There you go.
It was meant to be, my friend. It was meant to be. Yeah, we do that all over. We do it for people who are primarily, the work that I do is we do those fundraisers so that they feed into the nonprofit, and that's how we tie that all in together. But it's essentially like a paint and sip without the sip. And
I go to the ones where you sip.
Well, I go into prisons and sober living homes and the jails, and so it's not that kind of thing. But were you not engaged the entire time? Did you not have fun? Was it something that when you were finished, whether you were the artist that you thought you were in the beginning or not, it was the process, right? It was staying present. It was being part of the color. And that's what that's all about. Because in recovery or in the process of getting into recovery, so many people just disengage with life and with what can happen and with having joy for no reason, that kind of thing. So it's very extremely rewarding. And no, there is absolutely nothing in my past that would have told me that I would be here doing this, except I believe that words are very powerful. I
Yes.
believe that when I say, "Oh, I am so stupid," my brain goes, "Oh my God, I got stuck with a stupid one." So I
Right.
avoid words that say I am anything other than fabulous, fulfilled, blessed, grateful, all of that. But what I do say, and what helps me in these rooms is I say, I have an allergy to alcohol. I break out in handcuffs. And then everyone gasps, right? And then they get it that I get it, and let's get on with living life and changing, making better choices and creating something fabulous. So that's where I get from there to here.
Yeah, well, that coaching that you teach, I mean, that's part of what I do too. Is the part where you are positive all the time and put it out there about all the wonderful things. I do that every morning. You know what? Have a shower and get rid of everything of yesterday down the drain and
Hmm.
invite in all the beauty and all the wellness and all the successes that are going to happen to me today. And it works.
It really does. It really does. As woo woo as it sounds and as goofy as it sounds. But look at both of us. No one would expect less, that we would just dance around and expect the good vibrations to come our way because we give and we get. And but look at us. I mean, come on. You know we're being judged. You know they're going to say, well, of course those two do. But how many of us are, garden princesses and joy from inside out? How many people do that?
Yeah, that's right. But you've got so many other things you do too, right? You apart from the coaching and the painting, and you're involved with the arts. You've got a show coming up, right?
Well, involved with the arts. Art is therapeutic. And so to say therapeutic art is kind of redundant. But what we do at Tin High, there is no hero and heroine, is we understand, first of all, we have all of the services that are necessary, family services, IOP, OP, everything that we will embrace your child, we will embrace you as family, and we will make sure that you get through this journey not alone. That said, there are other organizations that have that. What they don't have is the heart and the soul of the artist and the individuals who are involved in this. Now, we are strictly by the science and the disease and all of that. We also understand that there's a component within the human being that needs to be filled. And so, whether it is treks to the mountains or weekends at a cabin or paint parties or anything that takes the person back to that child that they were so they can start healing from there, right? We have a teen drop-in center. There's a pool table, a ping pong table. You'll see a lot of adults playing around, but that's just the kid in them because that's when they stopped growing once they got into their addiction. So everything that I do, and I work because there's so much to do, I work with a system that I call my buckets. And so I have two buckets. I have Tin High helping people, and I believe in getting involved politically. And so I work very hard to make sure that people have information that they need to make conscious and informed decisions on in any of those areas. But if it doesn't fit into those two buckets, I don't do anything else. So I don't really know where that was. You say you do so much. What we do have coming up is a partnership with Toe Tag Monologues. Now, the beauty of working with all of these people, I have to tell you, is that I have, having lived here all of my life, I have friends from 15 years old to 150 years old. And some of them are just were there. And there's a gentleman by the name of R. Byron Stringer, who was a DARE officer with Metro. I was there when he was brought in as a cadet and hired to grow into a police officer that he did, and a brilliant one at that. And he is well respected and loved in the DARE community. Well, Byron wrote a series of monologues called the Toe Tag Monologues. And listen, we're all walking around with toe tags on. Every one of us has something that's killing us that we need to get rid of. However, these are very, very intense monologues that go into everything from sex trafficking with our kids to drugs to abuse to all of the things that we would never want any child to experience. And after that child is finished telling their story, mind you, to an audience full of children or kids their age,
Right.
that particular individual crawls into a body bag, it's zipped up, and they're rolled off the stage for the impact of it. And so Tin High, There Is No Hero in Heroin, has a teen drop-in center, and we work we're at Western High School. We work over at Mission High School. Mission High School. Let me detour for a minute. The only high school in the United States that is part of the school district. That school should be overwhelmed with students. And so we want to make sure everybody knows that they have an opportunity. They can get help. They're not alone. We recover out loud, so you don't have to. Recovery is possible. They're not just words. It's proof. I'm proof. So the beautiful thing about what I do with Tin High, and even with my political affiliations, I find people who support my vision for the community to support their own, just like you're doing. I mean, I love this podcast, the idea that we are giving to ourselves. When I am in trouble, and it's often, I don't call the president. And I didn't when there was a Democrat, and I didn't as a Republican president or as a Democrat. I didn't call the president. I don't call the governor. I don't, thank God, even call the sheriff. I call my neighbors or my family. And these are the ones who have to solve our problems, our homeless problems, our addiction problems. These are the people that we need to turn to and say, I need your help. And we don't do that enough. We go to foundations and corporations and all of that stuff that are weighted in everything from bureaucracy to already having a list of 50 people they support.
Right.
So this is one of those asks where you say, listen, if you or a family member has ever been impacted by addiction, please think of supporting your local addiction, I'm going to say Tin High, your local addiction programs, because they're the ones on the ground. They're the ones they're the ones doing the work. They're the ones who say, I get you. I understand you. I want to help you. And then, of course, we all know that it's always and only up to you. But Recovering Out Loud is part of my hashtag. The Tin Highway Road Trip to Recovery, that's part of my hashtag. Wish You More, and I'll tell you about that in a second. Uncuff Your Inner Artist, that's a part of my hashtag. So anything that we can do to get, and what I started to say and come back to is, you would be, I think, very much surprised, and maybe not, at the number of people in those rooms who are artists. And I don't mean they just paint. I mean they're poets, and they're writers, and they're singers, and they're actors, and they're painters, and they're drawers, and they're taggers. Why? Because there's a certain component, you talk about personality types, there's a certain component within the artist that doesn't understand mean. We don't understand it. So when we see mean, or we meet mean, or we are affected by mean, we do everything we can to crawl out of that feeling. And so to understand that that feeling is a part of being able to feel so much better about everything else, and to, kind of resolve yourself to the fact that life is going to happen, accept the fact that you're enough and worthy, and then work toward those things. But the artist, that artist, there is, I was just listening to One Moment in Time by Whitney Houston. You think of all of the people we listen to, the writers that we've read, that we love, the movie stars, they're either dead or in recovery. There aren't that many of them running around that are all that cool, right? So the giving part and the relationship part and the community part is absolutely essential. And that is why. Did you want to say something, hon? Because I can be quiet for a minute.
Well, yeah, I'll put in just in there. It comes back to me as memory. When I was in San Diego, I lived there for 11 years, and I worked with one of my teachers there, and he was a beautiful artist. Oh, he still is a beautiful artist. And he got together a group after when we had the huge fires back when the first huge fires came, and they went all the way down the back of San Diego and right up for miles and miles, and all connected. So many people lost their life and their homes and what have you. Right. And what he did, he got a class together, all these people that were without anything. It was just charcoal on the ground. And he got them all together and he put a class on. And he said, I want you all to make something, create something, bring out the artist in you. And of course, everybody said, oh, I'm no artist. I can't do that, that. And you should have seen. Actually, it still gives me goosebumps when, and gives me a little tear in my eye when I saw the art that came out of those people. And it was raw, right? It was right from the heart and guts and everything. And there was one lady made art out of the springs out of her mattress. That was all that was left, was the rusty springs and things like that. It was just, it was so inspiring, and it lifted all of us up to such a degree, looking at everybody's piece of art. It was just an amazing thing. I was so blessed to have been part of his group that time. I didn't lose anything. I mean, I've still got my piece. I've got it in my house. Yes, that I made a fountain out of, and I made myself into I made a cast of my face, and then I put on all the pieces of my life that had made a difference. Man made a song about me. Sure. The Indian people, they helped me with a whole lot of things when I was going to powwows. So it's all connected. And what you're doing brings it all out. I just love it. You feel like we're sisters under the skin.
Well, Miss Anna, every person that we've ever met in our lifetime leaves a fingerprint or an impression on our soul. Everyone. And it doesn't, that person that we passed when we were a little kid, that we passed in the grocery store, and they took the time to smile and tell us that we were special, right? Exactly. That leaves an imprint on it. So I encourage everyone listening to do that once a day to someone. Try not to touch them. Don't put your fingerprint on them, but we do leave an imprint. And what you're saying is absolutely true about creation and creating. But where you started reminded me of what I tell these individuals when I'm in the room, because you said trust, right? And so imagine, I'm just going to take you into an art class with me real quick. So I walk in, I'm at City Jail. There's 30 men in orange outfits, and they're waiting to find out why they're there. And so as they come in, I have either Jailhouse Rock or I Can't Get No Satisfaction blaring on my radio, right? They sit down and I say, listen, if you can't laugh about where you are right now, you got bigger problems than where you are right now, right? And so the music is playing in the background, all of the songs that Head Out on the Highway, all the rock songs that we listen to that give us glimpses into our past and so forth, inspirational songs like No Survivors from, I don't know, I can't remember who's, anyway, there's inspirational songs and all those. So now I've attacked the sense of hearing, the sense of sight, because they come in and they see all those canvases and easels. And then I usually spray the room with cinnamon. So they're smelling something like apple pie. I've attacked every single sense that they own so that they don't know yet how to react to whatever. But I tell them there are only 4 things that it takes to create a masterpiece in life or on canvas. The first thing, you have to have an intention. And then I actually show them the painting. They didn't know beforehand what we were going to paint. And the trust issue comes in. Oh, I can't. I said, well, Anyone here with trust issues? And of course, they don't know me yet, so they all sit there. And I said, if you didn't raise your hand, you're a liar. Anybody here like being told what to do? And they're still looking at me. And I'll say, okay, now you're really a liar, because nobody none of us trust, and we don't like being told. But if you will trust me, I'm going to tell you how to recreate this painting. So there's 4 things. Have an intention, make wise choices. 3 colors make up 10 million different colors. You can do this. Black and white aren't colors. Get over yourself. Okay. Number 3, you must be present. If you are in the past, first of all, you're depressed. I'm sorry. Get out. You don't belong there. If you're anxious or concerned or trying to plan your life out, you're in the future, get out. It's not going to happen 99% of the time. So the only time you can do anything is when you are present. That's why it's a gift. I know it's corny. Stay with me. If you stay with me for these 2 hours, we will take your intention. We will create this masterpiece, right? And yours is not going to look like mine. In fact, that's one of my rules. If yours is better than mine, you can't play here anymore. But the point is, nothing's new. I didn't take this. I didn't create this. So God's looking at my painting and says, I've done better. Well, of course you did, because you created everything. It's like nothing that you can do that can't be done kind of thing. So, and the 4th and final thing, very important, is that you must take action. So pick up the brush. And then I meet people where they are.
Right.
And so mind you, I have to get their attention. So I'm going to use language in a moment. And I tell them that if their ego will leave the room, and if they will let their inner artist stay present and tell their ego to drink a big cuppa, shut the fuck up, we can bleep, right? Anyway, so when they hear that come out of my mouth, they go, oh, because so you, by engaging all of those senses, and then you have to let them know how much you care. So you say, I love you more. I love you for no reason. I don't love you because you make me laugh. Because, right, I can tell you right now, most of you are going to really irritate me today. And I don't love you because you take me out to dinner. And I don't love you because you're a fancy dresser. I love you for no reason. And that way you will never disappoint me, right? I may not approve of what you do, but you won't disappoint me. I love you for no reason. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And then I tell them also, I apologize. I want to be the mother who loved you too much or not enough. I can't ever do this without getting emotional. I want to be the woman who broke your trust. I want to be the person who didn't love you the way you needed to be loved. And I apologize. And we cannot start on this new adventure until you accept my apology. And that's when we get off on it. And then I crank the music, right? And we go to it. The results are amazing, some more amazing than others. But I have, I can't tell you how many people will write me notes and say that they love me for no reason. And I need to be loved for no reason. I really do.
I think we all do.
Yeah. So that's where it started. And then as I got to know Joe Engel and Janelle Olson and Katie Impante and Rhonda Fairchild, I started to use another name, and that's not it. But when I got to know the people over at Tin High, I've been hanging around, volunteering my time with them now since 2018. Wow. Find yourself a local charity that you believe in, that you can contribute to, that you can walk up to people and say, I know the work you do, right? Red Cross is great, and St. Jude's is great, and the animals thing, they're all great. Give local. That's all I'm asking. And here's what I'm doing to kind of promote that. So I don't know if you can see it or how well it shows up, but behind me here, I'm going to dip away for just a second, okay? Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. This is a thank you card, a love card, whatever. that was printed based on that painting, which is
Okay.
actually a 9-foot by 12-foot wall that lives at Tin High over at 3441 South Sahara. No, 3441 East Sahara, West Sahara. It doesn't matter. Print it somewhere for me. Call me, 702-610-2237. Anyway, this
Yeah,
this
show it to me again.
okay. So this card,
Wow.
note that first of all, there are 18 wishes on that wall. And those 18 wishes represent, according to the Bible, the release from bondage.
Wow.
There are 7 that represent one for each day. We need to make a wish every day. If you want to say prayer, I wouldn't disagree with you. So we need to do that every day. Those black mountains represent that deep depression, horrible place that we get into with the disease of addiction. And then that fuzzy, gray, hazy area that we go through just trying to get out. But that one wish, that beautiful wish right up there, that big one, that's
Yeah.
the one we're waiting for. And so
Wow.
we took that 9-foot wall and we converted it to a rolling backdrop for pictures. And if you do this in front of it, it looks like you're sending a wish.
Oh,
We're gonna send this wish. It's an 8-foot by 8-foot by 10-foot wall. We're taking it all over the valley. We're letting people wish, wish, wish. When you wish, you may not know this. When you wish, hope finds you. And I'll tell you something else. Let me tell you something else real quick about dandelions. May I?
oh.
Have I talked too long? Okay.
No.
Let me start with, and anyone in recovery will appreciate this, but dandelion tea is good for the liver. Let's just start there. Okay. From there, I'm not passing judgment. I don't do judgment, but somebody got it wrong. Somebody said dandelions are a weed.
Yeah.
Well, let me explain the weed. Okay, the little yellow flower on the dandelion represents the sun. That orb of thistle or of seeds represents the moon, and those seeds that shoot out, they represent the stars. This is probably the most representative plant of what I believe in. As I mean, the sun always comes out, doesn't it? Doesn't it? And so with that, then you take the fact that it multiplies. I mean, in addiction, I'm sorry, friends, look around. We're everywhere, right? We're also resilient. We don't need some special light or to be planted and sprayed a certain way or to have the fertilizer. No, we will grow anywhere. And we can come up through 3 feet of concrete, done. And so knowing the resilience of the dandelion, knowing the release from bondage, knowing that there is always the opportunity to recover. It is always possible. It takes family and it takes the person involved with the disease. I'm not going to discount that. Yeah, there's a lot of personal choices that need to be made, but we can help. Individuals in recovery, let me put it this way. If everyone in recovery were walking around with a diamond vest on, everybody would be trying to help them, right?
Right.
These individuals are our most precious, fabulous resource. For every individual suffering through this disease, their mothers, their fathers, their wives, their husbands, their sisters, their brothers, their kids are not leading full lives. These exponential people, these additional individuals, this ripple effect, they're not going to work. If they do, they're not giving 100%. They're not going out and having a casual dinner because they don't have enough money, time, or energy to do that. So that one individual is affecting at least 5 others. And those 5 other individuals are giving less. And when they give less, that means that anybody else has to pick up. If they don't pick up the slack, then nobody. It's just a very slippery slope to go down.
Yeah. Sorry. I get pretty emotional about all this because I see so many kids, and it's so easy to get drugs now, and they think it's hip and it's okay, and even just weed. I mean, it breaks my heart that because one thing leads to another, and then they just don't care about anything. It's like school doesn't matter. My granddaughter is homeschooled, and she's only 9, and I can see the difference between her and other children that I meet that are older,
Mhm.
that don't have, the whole build-up of how to make a good human being, to be in society, to be part of the team, to be connected, to
Mhm.
make a difference, because we're all there trying to bring this all together to be one in this team of people, this tribe, and they don't care. It's just
But
breaks my
yeah,
heart. Yeah.
we want to see results and we want to see them quickly. And this isn't a quick fix. It just isn't. We all need to work together. We all need to support one another. We need to, we've got to get rid of the judgment. This is not the old bum or the old hobo from 100 years ago.
Right.
This is someone's child, right, who has lost their way. And we absolutely need to bring them back into the fold so that we can have a far more productive society. I know that currently the current administration is saying that as a result of their their war on drugs and so forth, that suicides and accidental deaths by drugs have gone down.
Oh,
And
God.
I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to say thank you because I know a lot of drugs have come off the streets. But I'm also going to say that for the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, even though our government did not get it right, there have been people on the ground. I can tell you for Tin High for 14 years at least, have been on the ground doing the work. And I'm just going to say that maybe, just maybe, what we do helped to bring those deaths down. So let's support treatment. Let's support prevention. Let's support awareness
Yes.
and get on the same page and understand that if you're not going to do it because that's someone's child, do it because your Social Security isn't going to be there if these guys go get back to work.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah. You're doing it on a grand scale, but if every person help one person change the direction of their where they're going in life,
If
can
you
you
chose
imagine
one
where we'd
charity, yes, ma'am. If you chose one charity that is associated with your life, I don't care if it's cancer, I don't care if it's muscular dystrophy, I don't care if it's veterans. We all need that support. But if
Right.
your life has been affected by anyone with the disease of addiction, find yourself a nonprofit that is going to help your kids. It's going to help you. It's going to help the community. Ultimately, it's going to help society. Find a local. Send them your $12. We ask for $18 because 18 represents release from bondage. So we ask you send us $18 a month. Let us feed these kids. Sometimes Tin High is the only place they have to go. That's where they go when home isn't an option. This place should be. We should have to get 5 more rooms in this place. But give me a call. Stop by. I know you don't do any cutting on these podcasts. I wish you did. I fumbled a little, but you are a
No.
magnificent host. You don't say anything.
What's a good phone number, and what's a good email or .com?
Oh, great. Listen, first of all, check us out. Go to tinhigh.org. Go to our webpage. Find out what we do. Don't just take my word for it. And my kids don't, so why should you? My name is Kate Hitt Kaplan. My phone number is 702-610-2237. I do ask that you text me instead of calling, and that way I'll get back to you. You can text me 2 things. I want to have a paint party to celebrate life with 10 of my most colorful friends, and it's a donation to Tin High.
Right.
And so give me a call and just text paint party. So those donations go directly to Tin High. Or if you would like to sponsor the wishing wall that's going to be running through the entire valley, every day it's going to be somewhere, every week it's going to be somewhere,
Awesome.
and you want to sponsor it and get a billboard on the Tin Highway, then please, again, text me Tin Highway or wishing wall to 702-610-2237. Once you go to Tin High on the web, you'll get all of our contact information and where you can find us. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kate. And everybody, I didn't realize this was the lady. I've done some paint parties with her for donations to a cause. She's great. So thank you, Kate, so much. I wish you.
I am so
lots
happy
of
to
success.
reconnect.
It's funny, isn't
So
it?
excited to reconnect with you, friend. I'm talking over you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Aloha. Thank you, Kate.
Oh, okay. How do you do that now? Okay. I got you.
Shaka bra.
Thank you so much. Let's stay in touch, okay?
Oh, definitely now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, friend. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for listening.
The Cause Marketing Chamber of Commerce brings businesses and nonprofit organizations together to create synergistic relationships that benefit the community. Join our tribe to network with community and business partners, increase sales, improve fundraising efforts, differentiate your brand, help worthy nonprofits, and more. Become a member today. Visit our website, causemarketingchamber.com, to see how we can help you grow your business or your nonprofit organization. Click on the Join Now button at causemarketingchamber.com. Help us build a world where social responsibility is the new bottom line. PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.